Start that right now. Okay. Microphones are muted and cameras are turned off. The closed caption function will be enabled for your convenience. You can use the chat feature to engage and ask questions, and questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Our presenter for this program is Rachel Williams from Statista. Thanks for being with us today, Rachel, and you can take it away.
Awesome, thank you. Let me start sharing my screen. All right, so we should be able to see my screen now. Could anyone just confirm?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, perfect. So a few things on the platform. If you are new to it, you're going to want to hover into the Services tab, and it just gives a little background about Statista itself. So first and foremost, about 50% of our data, if you did not know, is proprietary, meaning we wrote it ourselves, we conducted the research, and so on. We also work with data partners, so that's another quarter. And then, of course, we work with publicly vetted information. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about us, you can go to these two tabs, About Statista and Why Trust Statista. Kind of just recaps what I mentioned, telling where the data is coming from, and so on. So I'm going to pause there. Make sure there's no questions, right? Because I don't think I can see the chat.
Looks like no questions so far.
Okay, awesome. So first, when you're starting off on the search, I would highly recommend using the search bar. If you are new, it's the easiest way to kind of navigate the tools. You can use the ribbon up top. So as I hover over them, you see all the different tools you have access to. But realistically, anything in the search bar will pull results from there. So for today's call, I'm going to go into social media. That's going to be my topic. And as I start to type, you'll start to see some suggestions populate. Again, you want to keep it super vague. So I'm just going to do social media, nothing specific. When I come into this search results page, you'll see a lot of results. 53,000 can be a little bit overwhelming. So a few things I would recommend to do. First and foremost, you want to hover over the sort by and change it to data publication. This will give you the most up-to-date data that we have on the platform. You'll see we always have editorial picks. And of course, those dates might be a little bit longer, but that's just what we highly recommend checking out. But you'll see right here, we had an update as of today, for instance. And then you can see the rest of the tabs as you scroll down. So you can also use the filter on the right-hand side. So you can filter by content type. So if you're a pro on the platform, you know you love statistics or you love reports, you can filter to just pull those reports on a given topic. If you look into accuracy, for instance, of course, if you have multiple words, you can include all or specific ones. Location focus as well. If you wanted to hone in on a specific region, talking about social media, for instance, you can do so. And then a few different things. If you just wanted to do like an industry search and put no keywords in, but you wanted to see what do we have in a specific industry, you can also do that. And then if you want to see what we have published in specific years, you can, of course, check those boxes to see what we have. And then just some archive data. A lot of the times this is useful when you Google search and you find something with Statista, but then you go to look on the platform, you can't find it. Maybe check the archive section. It might be super outdated data. So click all to do that. So those are the filters when you use the search bar. I'm just going to plug in my mouse because it's being a little wonky. 1 second. Alrighty. So when I'm first starting off, I would highly recommend using a topics page. A topics page is about 30 to 60 of the most relevant stats and statistics, and it also includes reports as well. Topic pages, you'll see this one, for instance, looks like this. So it's going to be a little blurb about the topic at hand. It's typically worldwide, but you can always change a key region if you have the ability to do so. And as I hover over, you'll see these are all single statistics. And if I scroll down, there's statistics on the left-hand side. And then, of course, we have some reports relative to my subject, some key figures, again, all single statistics. And then all the way at the bottom, we have reports. So again, this is a great place to get caught up to speed if you're starting out on a topic or whatnot. I'm going to pause there to make sure we have no questions, and then I'll go into a single statistic. I don't think we do.
Nope, it looks good.
Awesome. So let's go into a single statistic. And all the statistics are universal, so they're going to look the same, a bar chart, a line graph of some sort. A few things you can do on here. Again, you have unlimited downloads, so feel free, download whichever format you prefer. And you can also always see the sourcing. So as I mentioned earlier, Statista does not write everything on the platform, and if we did not, we're super transparent. We have a source link that you can dive into, and you'll be able to, of course, see where we got the data from. And people really say that they use this as a secondary resource. They enjoy the sourcing link, and sometimes they'll be able to find even more. So that's great. So just keep that in mind. Using the toolbar here, if you will, a few things. You can change the viewpoint of the graph. You can share it on social media. And we also have a citation button as well. And not always, but when you see a little flag, that means this is available in another language. So it is great for multilingual if need be. Then if you just scroll down a little bit on the statistics page, you'll typically see when this was published or updated. And then you'll also see any relevant reports or statistics to the topic at hand as well. So I'm going to take a breather there, see if we have any questions or need me to repeat anything. I think we're good.
I think so.
All right. So let's hop into what's called a report shop. So if I cover over the reports, you'll see that there's 6 different subjects at hand. However, I want to see what do we have on the entire platform in pertaining to reports. So I'm going to go into search our report database, and very similar to the initial search, I'm going to click into the sort by, and I want to do data publication. This will show me the latest published reports as of October, for instance. Now, again, it's a blank search, so could not be, what you're looking for. However, you can see everything that was published as of this month. And then, of course, you can use the left-hand side to filter by country, industry, and so on. So there's 2 different types of reports. We do, oh, I see a hand raised, I think. Nope.
Let's see. Is there a question? Oh, she asked, where did you go for the reports?
So for the reports,
Rachel, I think you're muted.
so sorry about that. My mouse is being so funky right now. Can we hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So sorry. All right. So I think that I was doing it and then it kind of cut me out. So just trying to get the mouse really quick. All right. So the question was, how did I get to the reports? Just to go back to that, I went into the reports, hovered over it. I did not click on a specific subject, but I just went into the report shop. And then from here, I went to sort by, data publication, and then that's how I found the latest published reports. Hope that answers the question. So Again, same as the search button, a search feature. If I wanted to go into a specific industry, like let's say I'm interested in, what do we have as far as real estate? I just clicked in the industry. Again, I want to see the date of publication. So you can see these were all published as of September of this year. I think I was going into the different types of reports. So we have typically two different types that you'll probably utilize the most are statistic reports. So statistic reports are just a compilation of single statistics on a given subject. So essentially, they will just be a slide deck or a PDF of single statistics like I just showed. But let's open one up. So you'll see the titles here of all the single statistics that we'll be talking about. You can download it via PowerPoint or PDF, your choice. But when you do download it in PowerPoint, you can customize it. So now you'll see it's your slide deck. It does have Statista's logo, but it's just essentially single statistics in PowerPoint format. So that's really good when you're maybe searching, you're starting a research and you keep finding single statistics, but you want to know, what do we have all on the given topic? Check out the report shop. It'll have a bunch of them for you and you don't have to single-handedly look them up. So that's what a statistic report looks like. We also have what's called, going back here, we also have what's called an overview report. So this is a little bit beefier. It's got more graphics, if you will. It's overall a nicer report because it does have an analysis opinion included. So I'm gonna put that one up. And of course, that's not PDF. Sorry, that's not PowerPoint. That's only PDF. So you'll see right off the bat, we'll have the graphs and so on, and we'll have a little verbiage explaining what's happening. So again, it is easier, they're nicer, but we don't have as many because they do take some more time to produce. So if you do have a super niche subject you're looking up, you might not find a bunch of overview reports, but of course, if it's something trending or something new or, whatever the case is, we'll have a bunch of them, I'm sure. So those are the two different types of reports that you'll probably find yourself dabbling in the most. And again, if you want to know what you can download them as and so on, you can also do the filters on the left-hand side. I just want to pause there, make sure there's no questions on the reports because I know I went muted and so on.
We did have a question, somebody asking if they can get a preview before paying for the reports.
You should not have a paywall. So it's unlimited downloads. So you shouldn't have to pay for them. If you are, you're probably not logged in or authenticated correctly if it's showing you. So just let us
know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go into another tool. So hovering over the Insights tab. Hovering over the Insights tab, you're going to see Market Insights on the left-hand side. Now there are three. Those are just most popular. So I would use this tool by clicking Explore Market Insights. You'll see a little search bar here, so you can feel free to search whatever you're looking for. But you'll also have the 9 different topics right here as well. So let's say I'm interested in, mobility, for instance, and I want to see what do we have as far as market size and comparison and forecasting in mobility. So you'll see an overview right here. But I'm going to use the directory because that's how you use this tool. By clicking on the directory, it just drags me down the page a little bit. So I know that moves pretty fast, but that's anything you click on here will just drag you down the page. And now here's the segments. So for instance, if I'm interested in passenger cars, I have passenger cars is my market, and then mini, small, medium, etc. Those are all my segments. And then if we have a plus sign, we also have what's called a subsegment. So you can get like nitty gritty. But just for this, I just want to use passenger cars because it's very big and it's easy to comprehend. So I'm going to click into passenger car. And this is exactly what you'll see. You'll have a highlight section and some key regions here. Default is always worldwide, but of course you can change it here and where I was just hovering over. You can also see the market definition. How does the analysis team define passenger cars, for instance? You'll be able to see what's in scope and out of scope on this page. The market structure is just what I showed us before. It's just so you don't have to go back a page, and if you want to go into mini, you can go from here instead. If we have any reports related to this topic, we'll put it on here for you. And then methodology, of course. Where do we get our data from? Some FAQs and so on. So we'll always have the methodology linked here too. You can also cite this page as well and share, just like those single statistics. Scrolling down, I would say that this feature probably is easiest to learn when you do it yourself, because watching, I know when I was first learning, it was a little bit heavy. So a few things. You'll see an overview section right here. And of course, this is talking about, whatever subject we're looking up. So unit sales with a little graph. Just as I scroll down, analysis, opinion, and then we have different data points, right? I'm just scrolling down just to show how much. But on every single graph, if you wanted to download the entire page, you could, but you also can download individual graphs as well if you don't want the entire page. Very similar to the statistics, you can change the viewpoint. Some are prettier than others, especially here. That's probably your best bet. And let's say you're working on a project and SUVs, I think. Yeah, SUVs is like the brown color. Let's say those are irrelevant for my research and I kind of want them off. If I click it, it actually deletes it from my graph. So I can kind of customize my charts. Scrolling down a little bit more, you'll see global comparisons with a heat map, and then of course some key market indicators as well that you can download via Excel. Yeah. For every single insights, you can pretty much do the same. Typically we'll have sales, key players, and so on. It's just relative to the subject at hand. However, you can also compare. So we're looking at worldwide right now, but I want to know, how does passenger cars compare from worldwide to let's do Canada? So I'm not necessarily going to see like SUVs and so on. I'm going to see now worldwide versus Canada in my graphs once it loads in. Canada versus worldwide. Now, some you still might see different makes and so on, but I'm looking at country versus country or region versus region in this case. So again, this is why I say it's probably easiest to get in here and play around with it. You can pull out some years and check those stats and so on. I'm going to pause, make sure there's no questions, and then I'll go into the last tool for today.
Doesn't look like we have any questions at the moment.
All right, so daily data, this is what I'll wrap up with today. This is formerly known as an infographic. So this is a visual statistic, and these are great. You're probably seeing them on LinkedIn or social media, and they're produced daily. So this one was written, for instance, yesterday by Martin. And they're on trending topics or world events. And you'll see right here, here's the infographic. You can use the HTML code to embed it. And we also have a citation generator at the bottom. So these are really fun, really easy. They were formerly known as infographics, but they're now called daily data. I hope that was helpful, and I apologize for my mouse glitch. I want to open up the floor to any questions. And if you don't have any now, you can always email us after as well.
I don't see any questions in the chat.
And Jess, if you want to, share my email, more than welcome.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question. Douglas asked, what has been a surprising find or stat in this program for you?
Oh, one of my favorites right now is the Big Mac World Index right here. I didn't realize it was literally talking about cheeseburgers. So it's just fun stuff. It's random. I think that's what you'll find is most surprising on here.
Do you have an example on how this tool has helped a small business?
tons. So if they wanted to do forecasting for breaking into, a specific sector, the Market Insights, that tool that I just showed, shows you, the projections for the upcoming years. So looking at the insights is great. Also the reports, if you wanted to, obviously know all there is about a given topic, the reports are great because, as I showed, it's a compilation of data. So there's tons of information that will catch you up to speed on a topic. But then also, for instance, I know I showed the topics page. That also gives you some spider webbing of ideas related to social media. Maybe that's not specifically social media as well.
Thank you. All right, we've got a couple more questions here. What differentiates Statista?
Well, it's a vetted platform, so you don't have to worry where is information coming from, where is it sourced and so on. It's trustworthy data. And if you ever have any questions, you can always email me and I'll clarify it with the research team. This way, your research, is vetted and it's sourced and so on. So that's one of the biggest things. You don't have to Google around.
Thank you. Okay, and then Ashley asked, if I were looking for local community health related stats or rates, do you have advice for best reports to go to for this question?
Okay, what is the topic?
Local community health related stats.
Yeah, so what I would do, and keep in mind this is a German-based platform, so some verbiage we use here is a little bit different. If you wanted to look at the reports, click into the report shop, and then go into the industry, and you might want to go into health and pharma, and then see what types of reports we have related to.
Cool. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and post a couple of links in the chat as well while people are maybe thinking of more questions. I'll post a link now to our conference survey to provide feedback on this session or the conference day as a whole. If you filling out this survey, you'll be entered to win gift certificates to local businesses. And then I'll also post. Okay, and then I'm also posting a link to our Book a Librarian service. So that will enable you to schedule an appointment with a librarian to get help with research, navigating small business databases like Statista, and answers to your questions. All right, do we have any more questions for Rachel? Oh, sure. Thanks, Donna. Donna said, fantastic overview, so much info. Maybe someday do another in-depth 2-hour or more webinar with an outline we can follow, and then we can go back and practice and test our knowledge.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, this platform, there's so much you can do. So start off simple. And then, of course, if anyone has further questions, we can always do another overview.
That'd be great. All right.
No more questions?
Oh, yeah, Rick said, thank you. This looks like it can be very valuable. I think the best idea is to get in and poke around and understand what all is available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for having me today. And again, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for your presentation, Rachel. And thanks everybody for coming.
Bye.